Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
Lego Lord of the Rings Balrog raised eyebrows for what some fans say is an unfortunate pose. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see it. It's taking a piss on Gandalf.
You shall not!
Pee. And he says to her, listen, you got a fine white girl ass.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
I think I've died and gone straight to honker heaven. Boobs are amazing.
Hello there. Welcome to the daily. Oh, okay. Bit's over. I was going to try and do a bit there, but for some reason I got a cough this morning. I don't know why. I'm not sick anymore. It's really strange. Maybe I'm dying. I don't know. Maybe I'm dying. Maybe it's the last time we see me ever. I don't know. How we all doing? Welcome to the Daily Dive, the Double D's, where you, the chat, the audience, are in charge. We soldier on together, and we do our best every single day to find the fun in everything. I guess, I don't know. I'm struggling today. I'm admitting I'm struggling today. I'm not in high spirits. I'm just bottom line, YouTube's kicking my ass, and I'm not feeling very good about myself right now. I'll admit it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend. I'll put on the show. I mean, I'm feeling pretty beat up today. Feeling pretty down. But the show must go on. We'll try and have some fun here. Maybe that'll lift my spirits. Maybe something good will happen. I'll come on a story. Come on a story. Yeah, that came out well. I'll come upon a story, and that will ignite some passion. Will ignite something in me. But hope you guys are doing all right. It is Wednesday. It is the middle of the week, and we will see what's going on. I got nothing opening. I have exhausted all my openings for the moment. I've done the whole doom scroll thing. Nothing popping out at me. Nothing that I want to talk about particularly. Nothing I want to rant about. So the rules apply as normal. Rules apply. $5 for an Adam rant of your choice. Just about anything. $10, you can ask me a question. I'll tell you no lies. We'll have a discussion, have a back and forth, and we'll have some fun with that. $10 does rent me to play a video game for 30 minutes. And they're threatening me with party animals again. The threats have started. So I have a feeling that's going to happen sooner rather than later. And we will chip into that 3.5 hour backlog that I owe you, and then you'll just add to it because that's my life. Let's see. $15 gets you hot take instant reaction to an article we see in the news, or one you may have found that you want me to just react to without preparation. That's kind of the fun of it. No prep time. Let's see how smart I really am. $20 is good old-fashioned video reaction because it is Warhammer Wednesday, and I'm sure I know we have one of those coming. I've been told what it is. And other things. It's not just, it's whatever. Though sometimes we run the gamut. Things we think are okay do claim us sometimes. So there is a no-no list. Flash Gets is off the list now because they claim me. Some of those other comedy ones are off the list because they claim me. And so got to be careful. And $30 gets you Chat Made Me Watch This reviews, which we have one coming up. Due to what's left on the, due to what I have to take care of for the rest of the week, we might have to push this one off to Monday as well. For the simple fact, or Monday or Tuesday next week. Kratos says I have time. He's not, he says he understands. Because I got to watch Witcher Season 4 for Saturday this week. Now, it's not, comes out Thursday. So after from Thursday to Friday, I have to watch Witcher Season 4 for stream on Saturday. So yeah, that's going to kind of take up a lot of my watching time or being made to watch time. So that's going to happen. So we got one of those coming up. And remember, multiple things can happen to make my life suffer. I will balance the plates like a good dancing monkey that I am. So there are the rules of the game. Dumb day. Yeah, it's a dumb day. It's a dumb day. Like I said a minute ago, I'm not in high spirits today. I'm just not. It's just a simple, I feel like I feel like there's no avenue for success right now. I just don't. YouTube is being very asshole to me right now. It's to compare it, it's like the early days of the channel. That's the kind of traction I'm getting right now. It's like when I've got 50 to 100 subs and nobody knows who I am. Not just I have the small base with you guys that I have. Nobody knows who I am. That's the level of interaction I'm getting on my videos right now. And it's rather disheartening. It's rather disheartening. I'm not going to lie. And I am not one to pretend. I am not one to pretend that everything is sunshine and rainbow farts. If I'm a little bummed out, I'm going to show because I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I can put on performances just fine. I can do that, but I will put on the show. I'll do all the stuff. I'll make the video keep going, but I am disheartened right now. It's that simple. I'm disheartened. And I wonder, what am I doing? It's always like, I wonder, I watch shill websites suck. I watch fake, I watch ass kissers climb the ladder. And here I am, in my opinion, doing a better job than a lot of people. And I don't get anywhere. And I lose, and I gain subs and I lose subs. Not because I think people aren't subscribing, but because YouTube does purges. YouTube does purges, which even if somebody subbed a long time ago and they don't watch it anymore, the subs should still remain there. And sub count helps drive the algorithm. So by taking away subs, they tank my algorithmic chances. I'm trying real hard here. I'm trying real hard. I do not want to start a pity fest. I do not want to start a spiral. So we're gonna dive into the news. I don't have any opening monologues or anything else. We're gonna dive right into the news. Let's get that started. And did I bookmark it? Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Yeah, there it is. It's all right here. I didn't put it off to the side. I woke up very late this morning. I did not. I could not get to sleep last night. I just couldn't. I could not, for reasons I just shared. All right, let's get to the news. Let's see what happens with the news. Maybe something will come forth. We'll start a conversation that way. All right. Drake files notice of appeal in defamation case over Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us." I don't care about Drake. If he didn't have his meme, I wouldn't know who he is. I'll be honest with you. Because there's only one flavor that comes out of a butthole, and it's rotten chocolate, Kratos. That's the only flavor that comes out of butthole. Rotten chocolate. Okay, so we got it. All right, thank you, Kel. We'll get to that. You know what? We'll read it now. Oops, didn't want to do that. Hold on. I was gonna open my DMs and let's put that back over here where it belongs. I don't know why I dragged that over to the I don't know why I dragged that over to the freaking news tab. I'm not here. I'm not here. Okay. Kel for $20 over on Stream Elements. Thank you, Kel. For Warhammer Wednesday, the corruption that started it all. Yes, this is the man, I believe, if I remember correctly, This is the man, Erebus, the horriblest heretic of them all. This is the dude that corrupted Horus, if I remember correctly, if the old memory brain works. All right, so apparently I've heard that they're gonna force it on everybody. That's what I hear. I thought they'd abandoned that stupid shit when they reverted it on this channel. I thought they'd abandoned it. Well, if they just a reminder, just to prep yourself, guys, if they're gonna do it, change your YouTube handle to reflect who you are so that we know who you are, and so that you also don't get semi-doxed if it's your real name or anything like that. So prepare. YouTube doesn't care about its creators. It cares about the people that it has deals with for money. It doesn't care about a lot of us, which is unfortunate because it still is it is the platform that has the most potential to make anything out of something. Anyway, back to the news. Drake, I don't give a fuck about Drake. You can fuck right off. How Match became Halloween's must-see movie. I don't care about fucking Halloween movies. All right. I'm gonna say it. You've heard me say it before. I'm not a Halloween person. I'm not a Halloween person. When I was a kid, all in. Did all kinds of stuff. I was allowed to do so much crazy shit. Halloween. Remember, after the story, I went blackface once for Halloween. I did Homie the Clown. I was Homie the Clown. Had a sock and everything. Blackface. I was allowed to experiment as a kid. So it's not like I had a childhood where Halloween was not celebrated. No, as a kid, I was allowed to do anything I wanted. But as I got older, I disliked dressing up. I think as an adult, it's not something I want to do. If you have fun with it, that's great. But one should not be pressured to dress up if it's not your thing. I'm not into spooky season. I don't believe in Halloween decorations. Because I live in an apartment complex, I don't got to put candy out front. If I had a real house, sure. If I had a real house on a real street, yeah, I'd put some candy out. But if I have my choice, like in a complex like this, yeah, I ain't gonna put fucking candy out for a bunch of pieces of shit that live in this fucking place. I ain't doing that. I'm not spending my money to feed a bunch of babbling little moronic kids in this fucking complex I live in. Fuck that. I ain't doing that. Kiss my ass. Parents spend their money, get their fucking candy. I'm not a part of this community here. So I'm not into Halloween. I'm not. So I'm not dressing up on Ball Busters for Friday. I mean, Jeremy says everybody dresses up. Now, he didn't give me shit about it because he knows I'm not going to do it. Last year, I cooperated a little bit, did a fake last-minute costume. All I did was turn my hat around backwards and put up a stupid picture on my TV here. But I'm just going to keep my camera off on Friday. I'm just not going to do it. If I will participate by not I'll participate by not trying to ruin it for everybody else by not being on by being on camera, not dressed up. So that's as far as I will go. I don't believe in I don't believe as an adult you should dress up. It's just not something I think. If you want to have fun at a party, sure. Halloween party, go have a good time. But I'm not going to dress up for a goddamn stream. I think it's retarded. I think it is. Call me a stick in the mud. Call me grumpy old man. Call me old boomer. Doesn't like that fun. I don't think dressing up is fun. It's a waste of money to buy something you're going to wear once and never wear again. Show me somebody that's worn a costume again after they spent a bunch of fucking money on it. Show me. And it's not like they're going to put it on display and have it be a place of worship. No. It's going to go in a drawer in a box someplace and be forgotten after maybe you spent $50 to $200 on shit. No. Excuse me if I'm not going to waste my money on something I don't even enjoy doing. There, you got a rant out of me. An unknown rant. There, freebies. Love the freebies. Hate me all you want. I'll be a curmudgeon. They like to throw the word at me on Adam's a curmudgeon. He's being a curmudgeon. your tuxedo can be used again. A wedding tuxedo or a wedding suit can be used again. And a wedding dress, that's a different situation. I'm not gonna throw shade at a woman who wants her wedding dress to be perfect for that one thing. And sometimes wedding dresses get passed down through families. That's a thing. They get passed down. So I don't even know what that is. I can assume, but I don't know. I'm not sure I want to know, considering Kel's attitude lately is being a ball gag handing out sex dungeon Lalafell. Like I don't want to know. Let's keep going though. You got a free rant out of me. You see, I don't say I never gave you anything. Nobody's watching soccer. Nobody in America gives a shit about soccer. One of the most boring fucking sports to ever watch. Good Lord, is soccer boring to watch. You like soccer? Great. It's boring. Yeah, I guess that's where my attitude is gone. I've turned my disheartened feelings into pure spite and anger today. I guess that's my attitude for the rest of the show. Adam's gonna be angry. Hidden Empire, don't know what the fuck it is. It can fuck right off. America star Luca Castellani on gaining U.S. citizenship after making any Ali Murphy short film. Hey, well, guess what? If you earned your citizenship going through proper legal paths, welcome to America. Welcome to America. And I'm glad you're here. You followed the legal path. You followed the legal process, proper immigration, proper citizenship test. You take the oath. Welcome to America. Pete Davidson, I don't want to know. Fuck, I don't give a fuck about Pete Davidson. I will never I hear he has an 11-inch penis, and that's how he gets Kate Beckinsale and all those other chicks. BMF canceled its stars after 4 seasons. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know who this is. I don't care about Mia Goth. I don't like Zach Galifianakis. I don't know who Dan Stevens is. They're going to star in something called Hey Bear. From Portlandia creator. So I'm automatically going to hate it. It can fuck right off. Man, I am angry today. Now I'm good and angry. I am good and angry now. Good and angry. I've turned it into hatred. Do I have a clip? Hold on a second. Let's see if I have a clip here. Do I have a clip? Do I have my Emperor clip? No, I don't have that particular Emperor clip. So I'll just have a moment of villainy here. There. I don't have the hate flow through you clip loaded up. I don't have that one on here right now. I have plenty of other Star Wars clips. I don't have that one. I should have that one loaded for when I'm angry. I really should. How Greek DNA of Thessaloniki's in. I don't give a fuck. Kate Hudson. Don't care. Crunchyroll 24/7 channel launches on Samsung TV Plus exclusive. Fuck Crunchyroll. Just fuck Crunchyroll. I don't need you for my anime. Again, I don't care about whatever that is. Daniel Radcliffe says Broadway return with solo play, everything, every brilliant thing. Well, he's kissed enough ass, he's sucked enough dick, throwing J.K. Rowling under the bus. So I'm sure he's gonna be just fine. He's done. He has bowed and bent the knee and spread his cheeks for everybody he needs to spread his cheeks for to keep going as an actor. Let's see. Evan Moss Bacharach, Katriona Balfe joined some stupid movie, and he's not that great an actor. Emma Thompson gets in the Slow Horse of Spirit with Mick Herron adaptation Down Cemetery Road. I don't care about Emma Thompson. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild soundtrack to release on vinyl in U.S. as Nintendo tests physical media appetite outside Japan. I'll be honest. I mean, I grew up when vinyl was still a thing. My real dad had a massive vinyl collection of stuff. I remember when I was a kid, there were 2 vinyl records that I would have them put on for me when I was a kid. One was the original Fantasia soundtrack. Excuse me. I would listen to that all the time because that was beautiful music. and a collection of John Williams tracks from Superman to Star Wars and stuff like that. So I mean, I partook of vinyl, but in the end, I don't care about vinyl. I don't. Maybe it's because I'm not hardcore into music or a collector. I don't care about vinyl. That's the one aspect of physical media I don't care to own is music. Told you I'm coughing for no reason today. Nothing there. So if you get that stuff, great. But I am not a customer for vinyl or physical media anymore. I'm just not. I'm not. I don't even own a goddamn record player. Where would I put it? I got no room for anything around here. Tubi sets first deal for creator-led original movies with 4 titles from Kevin Hart's Heartbeat. Listen, Tubi's doing good stuff. They're a good streaming service. It runs well. The commercials are not that obnoxious, and if you accept it, they just roll forward and you keep going. And they have a good library of stuff, and they're constantly rotating it. And I know this because my mom is I won't say addicted to Tubi, but Tubi is her outlet, so that I don't have to constantly find her shit to watch. She just finds random shit. She'll cycle through maybe half a dozen things in one night before she lands on something she likes. She'll go into she'll get on action star kicks. She'll get on foreign film kicks that she hasn't seen before, and she'll watch all kinds of stuff. So, great too. I like Tubi. Tubi has made my life a lot easier. As someone who, for a time, I was required to help my mom find things to watch since we don't do all the shit streaming services because she's checked them out at through work and stuff like that. She hates them all, and she already has a large movie collection which she's watched so many times. She needs new influx of things or just things that are meaningless. So, as someone who had to try and always find stuff for her to watch, I am very pleased that Tubi has relieved me of that duty. She can just find endless new things to sift through, watch, and either enjoy or not care about. It's great. And she found some Western movie last week that she said it was horrible but profoundly good. It was just a revenge story that really was well done. So she had a good time with that one. And then she'll find some schlock that is worthless, but it gets her through the evening's entertainment. So good for Tubi. I hope Tubi still keeps doing good stuff because it's made my life easier. Anniversary review, Dylan O'Brien and Phoebe Dinner. I don't care. I don't know what that is. I don't care. Rithi Pond to serve as jury president at inaugural Doha Film Festival. I don't know what that is. I don't like festivals. Fuck festivals. Fuck them. They're terrible. Family Matters Rewatch Podcast, co-hosted by 2 stars of the 90s fan favorite sitcom, coming from iHeart Podcasts. Family Matters, an all-black show from the mid 90s, the late 80s through early 90s, excuse me, that, guess what? Everybody watched. One of the most successful sitcoms in history. On ABC. I believe it was Wednesdays. And didn't matter who or what you were. We all sat down and we watched it every week. Carl Winslow, a cop, a good cop, providing for his family, teaching them moral lessons, except for the daughter right here who never had a storyline, and they eventually just mysteriously wrote off the show. That was one of the most hysterical things. They had this, the younger daughter is the only character who never got storylines. And one day she was just gone, and my memory tells me without explanation. She just vanished from the opening cards, from the title, from the intro. They never gave any explanation of what's doing. I mean, the little kid who grew up, Aunt Rachel, who was a single, knocked up single mom who lived with them, and her little kid who went from infant to assigning this little kid actor to be the older version, had more storylines
than the original cast member daughter who was there the entire time. It's one of those fascinating bits of sitcom history. And then, of course, out of nowhere comes Urkel, who ends up being the center of the show, along with Carl, and they take over the show essentially. Urkel was a momentary blip, just like the weird kid who ate the cheese. Do you like cheese? Did I do that? All that kind of shit. Supposed to be like this nerd in love with Laura Winslow. And it was supposed to be a one-off, but they kept bringing him back, and suddenly he became the show. Urkel became the show. The strange friendship that a teenager has with a 40, 50-year-old cop. Hey, Carl, let's be buddies. It was weird, but we all watched it. The black family that America watched. More wholesome than the Cosbys because Reginald Van Johnson went out there hot Cosbying women. So, Family Matters. It was real. It happened, and kind of proves that America isn't racist. That everybody will watch a black family, and that it doesn't matter what color your skin is for a TV show. If TV show is good, everybody's going to watch it. There you go. Family Matters. It was a thing. Now I'll never watch it again. I'm not going to rewatch Family Matters. I did that as a kid. I watched it all. Even how they eventually put Steve and Laura together when she had to reject Stefan to choose Steve. I was there all the way through, even though Myra was way hotter. She had them titties, man. She had them titties. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm old. Shut up. Cheryl Hines says the View host just wanted to grill me about husband RFK Jr. They didn't ask one question about my book. Yeah, welcome to waking up to horrible people who only care about crushing you if you don't agree with them. Sinners Hamnet F1 League Campaign Film Festival lineup. Don't care. I haven't seen a single one of these movies because none of them were made for me to enjoy. I don't care about vampires. Don't care about fucking parody of Hamlet. And I don't care about fucking F1 racing. Paramount layoffs underway. CEO David Ellison says cuts are necessary for companies' long-term success. Well, the period of assessing who gets to stay is over. The firings now begin as Skydance tries to turn Paramount into a successful company once more. Will that lead to the purchase of the WB? I don't know. Here's what I love. I did that video on what's his name, leaving Paramount Plus and going to NBC Universal. Nobody cared, but it is actually a massive story that keeps unfolding. Nobody cared to watch it, but it is a massive story that keeps unfolding. Taylor Sheridan. That's it. Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan's leaving. I feel like my theory is holding up with the more we learn, because apparently Paramount didn't even try to hold on to him. It's a $1 billion deal that NBC Universal gave him. $1 billion there. $1 billion. Jim Carrey, Janelle Monáe, Nathaniel Radcliffe, among 17 added guests, announced a Rock Hall of Fame ceremony. Sure. Shogun future season could film in Japan as producer eyes Homeland return. All right, there should be no more Shogun. There was only one book. Clavel only wrote a single book for that storyline. He then moved to China. There's that they should not be doing it. This is why Hollywood is garbage. Something is successful. Oh, let's squeeze it for all it's worth. No, it's successful because he adapted the one thing that was made, and he apparently did a good job of it. Should not be any more Shogun future seasons. I don't care about Spain. Japanese anime KillTube brings dystopian battle royale to Tokyo Gap financing market. I don't know what that is. I'd have to look into that. Elvis producer
Schuler Weiss champions Gold Coast and Chow review mermaids and humans try to coexist in singularly stylized anime romantic comedy. If that's the animation, you can fuck right off. I ain't watching anything with animation like that. That looks horrible. Call me a snob, whatever. Hell no. Ayushman Khurrana celebrates box office triumph of Madakark. Ben Stiller says the term Nepo Baby is a selling point, kind of like that Brat Pack thing. Wow. He's a Nepo Baby. He only exists because his father was Jerry Stiller. And Ben Stiller is famous, but when you boil it down, he's not funny. His movies, for the most part, are not good. And he has no real talent. Nepo Baby. Stop trying to tell us Nepo Babies are good. They're not. They ruin everything. They take spots that people who are more creative and have better ideas should have. All right, enough of this. Let's move on here. Sony confirms PS Plus monthly games for number 25. Don't care, even though I haven't, never use it. Stellar Trader, a 4-time strategy game where you wield galactic economic influence, announced for PC. Huh. That could be interesting. Now, let's see if there's a trailer. Is there a trailer? Let's see if there's a trailer. Let's see if there's a trailer. There is a trailer. Let's watch. You know what? Let's watch this. Is this a trailer? What is this? Is this it, or is this something else? This looks like an ad for IGN here. Yeah, that's just IGN garbage. All right, so let's copy and paste this and let's open a new tab. Actually, I don't need to do that. I can do it like this. Let's just do it like this. All right, let's watch. I have no plan today, except for Warhammer Wednesday. So let's watch this trailer. This sounds interesting. Let's watch this trailer. I'm going to assert my authority and do this. No auto.
Hundreds of years after humanity took
HD, please. Autoplay off. No. God, all right, fine. All right, let's watch this.
Hundreds of years after humanity took to the stars, the galaxy became a place of endless opportunity, where even the smallest ship can grow into a force that shapes the stars.
I like the music. It's very chill. Pirates! Pirates attacking my starbase!
Define the galactic future. If you can command the stars, what will you make of the universe?
Playtest out today. I am intrigued by this. Let's read about this. Play Space Merchant, selling and trading your wares across the galaxy in Stellar Trader, a new 4X space trading sci-fi sim in development for PC. You build space stations and negotiate prices, avoid pirates, work the black market, tilt the scales in wars with your economic prowess, and so much more. Developer Paraverse Lab says you'll shape economies, form alliances, and influence the systems that control trade, tech, and politics in Stellar Trader, which doesn't have an announced release date as of yet. Watch the trailer below for your first look at it. You'll earn and customize new ships as you go, from clunkers all the way up to top-of-the-line mega ships. You also get to build your own space stations, influence supply chains, and the development of worlds from your perch in orbit. Economically, in addition to negotiating with potential trade partners, Paraverse Lab says you'll discover black market opportunities, exploit regional shortages, or stabilize entire systems through strategic logistics. You can ally with those whose interests best align with yours during conflicts, and also meet unforgettable characters, explore ancient ruins, solve strange puzzles, and experience a personal storylines that include romance, mystery, and moments of humor. I'm in. I'm in. I like this. I like the sound of this. I'm going to open up Steam right now, and I'm going to put this on my wish list. I'm going to do it right now before we forget. Opening up Steam right now. You guys can't see it because I can't share my Steam app anymore on StreamYard because they're retarded. So I'm going to this feels like a great game to stream. Holy shit. I'm thinking about this. I'm already excited. So this is called Stellar Trader. Okay. TBA. Adding to wish list. Boom. Let's see. Early specs. I might be able to play this. It doesn't look like it's too graphically intensive. The old girl might be able to play this. Old girl might be able to play it. I'm very intrigued by this. This was just announced. I'm very intrigued by this. This looks really fucking cool. I'd have to open up the Steam page right now to show you the oh, it's got waifus. It's got a character designer, and she looks like a waifu. Very anime-esque. Ooh. Hey. I'm sorry I can't show you because I can't share Steam anymore through StreamYard. I'd have to open up on the main webpage. Dude, I want this game. Seems like a very, very chill game. I need to blow my nose real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. I could do that, Kratos, but we're not going to. Yeah, the X franchise, playable. I tried playing the X franchise. That game was unfucking playable. I tried. That's one of the few times I returned a PC game, and I made them take it back. I said, this game is unplayable. It's horrible. Take it back. Give me my money back. Or give me store credit. I don't care. Take it back. All right, we're going to keep an eye on this one. This looks fun. This looks like something I could lose myself in. Damn, that looks good. I like that. All right, back to here. Oops. Oh, wait. Yeah, hang on. Of course. There we go. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so that was cool. I personally find it despicable. Key members of original Halo Dev Team Slam Ice Destroy the Flood recruitment ad. All right, so you're telling me original members of Halo don't understand that the USNC was actually a fascistic, totalitarian regime, and that what ICE is showing to do is like is a drop in the bucket compared to what the actual Spartans did. The actual Spartans were murderers before they became heroes to fight the Covenant in the Flood. They were murderers. They were shock troopers sent in to kill people. And they were also children who had been abducted and brainwashed, indoctrinated. So people that made the original Halo, who created the Spartans to be originally horrible tools of war and suppression, are unhappy that they're being used to show something to protect the border. Ooh, maybe you don't understand your own game. Maybe you just kind of made it and didn't actually look at what you did. Ha. Battle 66 goofy skin concerns cool as EA addresses community feedback with adjustments to season 1. Boys showrunner to season 5 is coming reasonably soon. Don't care. Amid speculation about James Gunn's future as DC Studios co-CEO, Paramount is reportedly keen to keep creative teams intact should it buy Warner Brothers. Well, that would be a mistake. That would be a massive mistake. Now, wouldn't it? I know they changed it right as we look at that. They did it again. Trying to read it. They changed it right as we did it. Arc Raiders release date between Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty Black Ops 7 may have some people wondering what the hell are they doing. But Devin says we believe the game can launch there. I believe Arc Raiders is a completely different type of game than both those other two games. All right, this is that retarded belief of, oh, you shouldn't release your game here. There's only one game you shouldn't release up against, and that's Grand Theft Auto 6 right now. That's the only game that defies genre barriers that you don't want to be releasing at the same time because everybody's going to put their money in there. But multiple games can be released at the same time if they're not the same type of game and its audience will buy it. Amazon walks away from New World amid sweeping layoffs, and now people are worried about its Lord of the Rings MMO. Okay, one, New World was a disaster. I know some of you guys ended up playing it so they fixed it, but it was a disaster. Complete disaster. Two, nobody asked for Amazon's Lord of the Rings MMO because there already exists a Lord of the Rings MMO that has a diehard fan base. Has one. Lotro has a diehard fan base that remain addicted to it to this day. I never cared for it. I never wanted it. I was not interested. But its fan base is there. Nobody wants an Amazon Lord of the Rings MMO. Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. FF7 Remake director doubles down on yellow paint. There's definitely a need for that kind of thing. No, there isn't. I will say that it was unnecessary. You don't need game journo safety rails for shit like that. You don't need it. It's kind of dumb. It don't need that shit. But they're gonna do it anyway. It's now an industry practice in all games to have some level of, look, go this way if you want to climb. It's stupid, but you have to accept. Doesn't break the game. It's just stupid. And I do disagree with its existence. The Young Avengers defeated a Kang on his first day and pitched for the scrapped Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. It gets sillier and sillier. I'm not even going to spend time even thinking on that. Hideo Kojima says no one ever told him the Wachowskis wanted him to make a Matrix video game. I don't know about that. Kojima's a troll and can be a liar, so I don't know about that. I want to revisit some of that conventional wisdom. Microsoft CEO drops big hint the next Xbox console is basically a PC. I don't know if I have the wherewithal to unwrap that. You guys would have to ask me to have that conversation right now. I'm not going to even dip into that. John Williams will score Steven Spielberg's 2026 UFO movie. Good luck with that. One of the greatest composers, modern composers of all time. Greatest score master ever. But I don't know if he has any gas left in the tank, especially Spielberg, who definitely has no gas left in the tank. He has no creativity left whatsoever. Lanterns explores that push and pull between Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. I think I'm going to put a pin in that one for this weekend. Gotta have some topics for Sunday. I'll put a pin in that one. New American Psycho movie won't gender swap serial killer protagonist. Whatever. American Psycho's overrated. Jed and I tore that movie apart on Drive-In. But it's a very controversial take. We tore that movie apart. I don't like that movie. Netflix, Asmodee team up to produce a Catan universe. Sorry, Catan. Universe of Films TV. Yeah, that's from last week. That's news from last week. Already talked about that. Harambe Market at Disney's Animal Kingdom closed for refurbishment. Don't care. Harambe got what he fucking deserved. John Dixon quits CBS News as Barry White takes over. Don't care. Not good. Don't care. Attendees receive keepsake ornament for 2025 Jollywood Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Don't care. And here's HBO's Lanterns. Could be another old hero, bad, new hero, good story. Showrunner claims Green Lantern series is about replacement. Green Lantern should be about teamwork and hope. That because willpower, because that's what it'd be about. So wow, it's gonna be that show's looking worse and worse. We'll be there to cover it. That's a review waiting to happen. I'm going to review it. Going to be a lot to talk about on that one. Dumb gorilla. Don't care. Harambe did nothing wrong. No. Go give a fuck about Harambe. All right. Anything else here? Nothing really. Nothing new. All right. That's the news. I'm sticking to it. I remain grumpy today. All right. So we got anything else over on Stream Elements? Nope. So we move on to Warhammer Wednesday, courtesy of Kel. What do we got here? As it loads, as ad blocker does its thing? Oh, here we no. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. Hold on, I'm having a retard moment here. All right. So consider articles as we now move on to Warhammer Wednesday, courtesy of Kel. Once again, we are going to watch Arbiter Ian, who we respect because he doesn't claim me and he allows me to react to his videos. We like Arbiter Ian. So Warhammer Wednesday this week is Erebus, the horriblest heretic of them all. Let's go. Thank you, Kel. Let's do it.
Afternoon heat of a distant desert planet, a small child sits in the hard-packed dust, engaging in the traditional pastime of a certain sort of child.
Staring at dirt. Short answer? No. I think it dies. More detailed answer requires the game to be played. Our game, not them. Harambe's death caused a misalignment of CERN, which broke the timeline. This is why we keep Kel around, because he makes statements like this. All right. So kid watching dirt on a desert planet.
Pulling the legs off of the local wildlife. But this particular creature...
Wait. Pulling the legs off of local wildlife. Serial killer. Torturing small animals. Let's start that over. I was making other jokes. Let's start that over.
In the oppressive afternoon heat of a distant desert planet, a small child sits in the hard-packed dust, engaging in the traditional pastime of a certain sort of child, pulling the legs off of the local wildlife.
Monster! A certain sort of child. Psychopath, serial killer in training. Pulling the legs off of local wildlife. I would never even consider doing that because I'm sane.
But this particular creature is no spider or fly. It's a poisonous desert scorpion. This pastime has landed the child in trouble before, laid up in the sickbed with a fever, even potentially close to death. But he keeps doing it anyway, thrilled by the feeling of being close to danger.
I mean, right there, that's Korn. That's Slaanesh. I can tell right away who these represent. Skull throne, blood for the blood god, and the skull for the throne. Misshapen, multiple eyes, limbs, that's Slaanesh.
And the intoxicating power he holds over the creature if he succeeds. It's a feeling he would continue to chase his whole life, with creatures way more powerful than a mere scorpion. Today, We're going to talk about the horribliest heretic of them all, the unequivocal biggest bastard in 40k, Erebus.
Man who started it all.
Erebus is a dick. Born into squalor, he would eventually rise to become one of the most
Erebus is a dick. Bravo. Bravo.
prominent figures of the Great Crusade and one of the chief architects of the Horus heresy, the first chaplain of the Word Bearers, the Hand of Destiny, Dark Apostle of Chaos. It was him.
Let's go back 1 second. That's just a great piece of art. Hi, have you heard the good word of chaos? I'm here to tell you that there's more than just the Emperor. Here, have a look. And if you hear the voices, don't worry, that's normal.
Bearers, the Hand of Destiny, Dark Apostle of Chaos. It was
no, Stephen, I have not. I have not played outside of Dark Tide, Space Marine 2, and maybe a couple other things. I've not played much Warhammer games. And there you lost me. I ain't playing no mobile game.
was his actions more than any other that laid the ground for the collapse of the nascent Imperium and the galactic civil war that followed. And in the 41st millennium, he remains a significant threat to the Imperium. But
so he's still running around. I forgot that he survived the heresy. I forgot.
His actions were never really the result of some grand plan or long-term
He's just a dick.
ambition on his part, but a series of opportunities taken and an unwavering belief that he was exactly where he needed to be. The child that would eventually become Erebus was not born to a prominent family or an ancient martial culture. He was, in his own words, gutter trash. Born into a poor settlement on the desert planet of Colchis, he had little regard for, well, anything really. He hated the heat and the poverty and the dust and probably sand too.
I don't like sand.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming!
It's coarse and rough and irritating.
He hated his parents and resisted all their attempts to encourage him to learn a trade or take education. He existed in a world of casual violence and scorpion torture, a delinquent until
Casual violence and scorpion torture. That's a brilliant line. That is fantastic.
Eventually he saw a way out. One of the many things he had little regard for was faith. The culture of Colchis was intensely religious, ruled over by a church known as the Covenant, who worshipped the Old Faith, a pantheon of four great powers. While it might have been that the Covenant were a pious and worthy organization in the big...
Four great powers that may just be chaos gods. I don't know. All right, let's take a moment here. All right. I see growing things. That might be Nurgle. A woman with some sex appeal and maybe hedonistic idea. That's Slaanesh. Oh, let's see. Somebody wielding a sword, ready trying to kill you. Khorne. And then oh look, birds and knowledge. Zinch. Look, bird iconography. Zinch. Chaos gods! Chaos gods! Right there! I see it! I see it! I'm not blind. I'm intelligent. I fit the pieces together. They worship the chaos gods. Am I right? The four other chaos. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, you know what I mean, though. This is all has proper imagery you can associate with each of the chaos gods. It does. I'm not wrong, am I? I'm not wrong.
cities Out in the poor settlements, most of the preachers and priests were corrupt, easily swayed by drink, fed by the populace, and spending the alms they collected on their own appetites. And despite not really caring for religion itself, our subject thought a life of petty power over the ignorant faithful sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
And so one night he took his chance.
Petty power.
He crept up on the settlement's star pupil,
This isn't going to end well, is it? This is going to be disgusting.
a boy he'd always been
A boy. A boy. Are we going to go from scorpion torture to human torture?
unfavorably compared to, and strangled him to death,
There we go. Okay, straight up murder. All right, straight up murder.
stealing his identity.
Oh.
He shaved his head like the boy, adopted the pious child's practice of inking holy text on his skin, dressed himself in the dead boy's clothes, and even stole his name, Erebus, vanishing off into the desert. Soon he was a novice in the capital city of Varadesh, sweeping the floors while
Got his name. Killed the kid. Took it over. And goes on to cause the death of trillions.
learning by rote the words and sayings, walking the walk of the corrupt priests, when something unexpected happened. In the mirrors of an altar, he caught his first glimpse of what truly lie beyond, the basis for the old faith, a vision of the chaos powers. I felt a shiver run through me, despite the ever-present heat. I was a
Called it. Called it.
petty thief, a minor speck within the iris of eternity, but I knew I could do things for these presences I felt that had always been there, lingering over my minor cruelties. The Covenant was their plaything. Perhaps other institutions could be used in a similar way. Faith is an interesting word for what Erebus had gained. He certainly believed that the chaos powers were real and powerful, and he should serve them, but how much of it was his desire to be close to the center of that power, to be on the edge of something dangerous, is uncertain. Either way, from this point on, he dedicated himself to their service, trusting that their plans would always
Papa Nurgle and Zinch.
make sure he was in the right place, at the center. And soon, the Covenant itself underwent huge changes. The Primarch Lorgar appeared from the desert alongside his foster father, the ancient preacher Cor Pharon, leading a crusading army and converting the Covenant to a new faith. Lorgar was the prophet of the one true God, the master of mankind.
Yeah, all right.
Who arrived soon after, and he converted them once again, this time to the light of reason and science, the imperial truth. The youth of Colchis was swept up in the recruitment
Time to be Space Marines.
campaigns of the 17th Legion, the Imperial Heralds, who were soon to be renamed by their newly found Primarch, dubbed the Bearers of the Word. And despite this new era of reason, it was clear what the word was, that the Emperor was a god and Lorgar his servant, a belief encouraged within the new Word Bearers Legion, even if it was at odds with the Imperium at large. But through all this change and turmoil, Erebus stayed true, confident that his chaos gods had a plan. He made
They did. They did.
sure he was at the center of this new power. When Lorgar appeared, he outwardly became one of the faithful, professing his devotion to the new creed in the sure knowledge that the Emperor was in truth his enemy. When the Legion arrived, he underwent the trials and surgeries required willingly, despite thinking them monstrous. Within the Legion, he distinguished himself not as a commander or a strategist, but as a preacher, an advisor, and became one of the Word Bearers' chaplains, preaching the good news of the God.
I made that joke already. I come with you. Have you heard the good news? Have you heard the good word?
Emperor to the populations the Legion subjugated,
Yet secretly pushing chaos.
and biding his time until an opportunity arose. And that time, after decades of warfare in the name of his enemy, was to come after the censuring of the 17th Legion at the hands of the Emperor and of the Ultramarines. 36 years before the ascension of Horus to Warmaster, the Emperor summoned the entire Word Bearers Legion to the planet of Kur, a planet originally brought into compliance by the word bearers and now fanatically religious. The capital city, Monarchia.
Again, short answer. Short answer. We've done videos on this, and I've commented before. I like the idea of the White Scars, and I like the Ravens Guard for what they do. I don't quite have devotion. Some do. I kind of like the cut of their jib. I like what they do.
Was known by them as the perfect city, a city of great cathedrals and monuments to the god emperor. It was in ruins. After years of troubling reports, the emperor had decided to act. Constant slow progress by the Legion as they took the time to indoctrinate their conquests, and the evidence that they had continued to worship the emperor as a god went directly against the tenets of the imperial truth.
Yeah.
And as the Great Crusade was coming to an end, enough was enough. The emperor had descended to Kur alongside the Ultramarines
The blueberries, always in blueberries in tow.
Legion, who had emptied the perfect city and then annihilated it from orbit.
Wow. Once again, the emperor is not a good man. There are no good guys in 40K doing horrible things in the name of saving everybody from whatever his visions tell him. But this is not the act of good people.
When the word bearers arrived, they were forced to kneel in the dust of Monarchia and were rebuked by the emperor. He was not a god, and their worship must stop. The intention here was to serve a warning and teach a lesson. The emperor thought that the word bearers were still redeemable, that Lorgar could still be brought round, and the choice of the Ultramarines was a deliberate one. The Ultramarines were also empire builders and governors, leaders who aimed for a future of unity, and their secular empire of Ultramar was both forward-thinking and fast-growing. But Lorgar didn't take this as a warning. He felt humiliated, and his faith was...
And suddenly, the snake will whisper in his ear.
Shattered. Without direction, he went into seclusion, and in this moment of weakness, Erebus made his move. By this point, Erebus had risen high in the Legion. He was first chaplain, a confidant to the Primarch, and the inked lettering had long been replaced with tattooed scripture from the Book of Lorgar across his scalp. It was Erebus, alongside Corferon, who reminded Lorgar of the old faith of Colchis.
The old faith that worshipped chaos.
Erebus and Corferon, the Primarch's adopted father and now first captain of the Legion, never really got on, too often rivals for the Primarch's attention, but they both knew of the old faith, and they both witnessed evidence of its variance as they fought the Great Crusade. Versions of the old faith, or things similar to it, being found on a multitude of worlds in their path. If the Emperor truly was no...
There it is. There it is.
God, maybe Lorgar would be interested in some real eldritch powers. It was Erebus and Corferon who organized the Pilgrimage, Lorgar's quest into the Eye of Terror for proof of the Chaos powers. And when he had that proof, it was Erebus and Corferon who slowly corrupted the entire Legion to the worship of Chaos over the next few decades. Now able to act somewhat openly, the word bearers were on paper still loyal, but the galaxy's a big place. Erebus was able to put more plans into action. He journeyed to the recently conquered world of Davin, and finding the ruins of an ancient chaos worshipping society there, ordered the locals to start rebuilding their old temples, foreseeing that they might come in handy one day.
Yeah, we might need portals to summon demons and possession and start fresh armies of atrocities.
Over the next few years, Lorgar would send out emissaries to many of the legions under the guise of spreading the role of chaplain, but also with instructions to create alternate power structures throughout them, the warrior lodges so common in the late Crusade. As first chaplain, Erebus was dispatched to the Lunar
There we go.
Wolves as chaplain to Horus himself.
There it is. Here now it happens.
And he quickly became well known throughout that legion.
Look at that smiling, optimistic man right there. How could he ever turn?
confidant of the War Master and a regular in the training cages, sparring against the Lunar Wolves captains. It was from that position, again close to the center of power, that he was able to make his next most fateful move. During a diplomatic visit to a rediscovered human
The sword, I remember this. Yeah.
civilization known as the Interrex, Erebus stole an ancient demon weapon, the anatheme, prompting a war when the Interrex discovered its loss. He passed this anatheme in secret to Eugen Temba, the new governor of Davin, who was eventually corrupted by it and turned traitor against the Imperium. When news of this reached the War Master, Erebus stoked Horus's need for vengeance, since Davin had first been brought into compliance by the Lunar Wolves. In a meeting on the surface, he framed Temba as betraying not just the Imperium, but Horus himself, leading Horus to go after Temba personally. The resulting duel on the moon of Davin
I remember when we went over this during the Horus Heresy stuff.
saw Horus wounded by the demon weapon and struck into a deep coma, whereupon Erebus convinced the now Sons of Horus captains to allow him to seek a spiritual cure, sequestering the War Master away in the Serpent Lodge on Davin, the same one he'd ordered reconstructed a few years before. In the warp, Erebus had the priests of Davin project him into Horus's consciousness, where he enacted his true masterpiece, corrupting Horus to the side of chaos. He showed him visions of a nightmare future where Horus's contributions were forgotten. He framed the Emperor as a liar and a murderer, and played on Horus's sense of wound.
Well, I mean, the Emperor, he's a murderer. He killed a lot of people. Killed a lot of people in the name of what he wanted to do, and he's lied through obfuscation. He's lied through obfuscation.
Did pride at being left to run the crusade on his own. By the end, Horus was resigned to rebellion. How much of all of this was like meticulously pre-planned is impossible to tell. Erebus had a habit of putting things in motion and then waiting to see how they could be best turned to the service of his masters. Though the intention was obviously to corrupt Horus eventually, just like with the corruption of Lorgar, it's likely that Erebus just waited until an opportunity presented itself and then took it, trusting that with the theft of the anatheme, events could be manipulated to his favor. But however it was planned, Horus did eventually fall. During the early heresy, Erebus stayed by the side of the War Master, planning the culling of the legions at Isfahan III, and later being instrumental in the betrayal at the Dropsite Massacre on Isfahan V. But after the Dropsite Massacre, he rejoined his legion as they journeyed to the eastern fringe and participated in the Battle of Calth, eventually declaring the betrayal of the Ultramarines and the millions dead at Calth a great sacrifice to the dark gods, and raising the Ruin Storm, a vast warp storm that would keep the Eastern Galaxy and the Loyalist legions active there, isolated from events on Terra and unable to intervene. From there,
and now we go back to all the thoughts of all the shit that goes on there. It's great how all these things lead to the thoughts of all the crazy shit that happened. Now I'm thinking about what we talked about when we did the Lionel Johnson stuff last week and the events there, and maybe if that hadn't worked, they could have gotten to Terra sooner. This is good stuff. It's so good.
Erebus joined his Primarch Lorgar and the World Eaters Legion on the Shadow Crusade, rampaging through the worlds of Ultramar. But it was here that he started to overstep his mark with both his own Primarch and with the War Master. Seeing himself as the true hand of the gods, he became more and more arrogant.
Drank his own Kool-Aid. So it sounds like he drank his own Kool-Aid.
Attempting to corrupt a third Primarch, he pushed for the deployment of the Blood Angels and their Primarch, Sanguinius, to Cygnus Prime, something Lorgar strongly disagreed with, and during the Shadow Crusade, experiencing visions from his patrons, he murdered Argal Tal, leader of the Word-Bearers Galvorbak and one of Lorgar's favourites, when he saw that Argal Tal's friendship with Khan of the World Eaters would stop Khan becoming the chosen of the Chaos Power Khorne. This on its own led to a narrow escape when he found himself fighting for his life against Khan in the World Eaters' dueling pits. He narrowly managed to escape through the use of dark magic, but it wasn't the last wound he was going to suffer from an ally. When he returned to the War Master's side and found that the plan to corrupt the Blood Angels had failed, he raged at Horus himself.
Whoops. Yeah, don't try and tell someone massively more powerful and stronger than you that they did bad. Especially when they're at this point, they're kind of crazy too.
Blaming him for the failure of his plan, Horus, using Erebus's own Athame dagger, flayed the chaplain's tattooed flesh from his skull and banished him from his sight for his insolence. He was now somewhat removed from the center of power, unwelcome in the court of Horus or at the side of Lorgar, but for the rest of the heresy, Erebus continued to manipulate events to the benefit of the Dark Gods, turning up at various pivotal moments to be a bastard all over the place.
That's a good way to put it.
Led only by his visions and his use of Athame daggers to cut through space-time, sometimes in disguise and sometimes making use of allies within the traitor legions. He dispatched word-bearers forces to Traoris under Valdrek Elias to acquire the ultimate MacGuffin of the heresy, the Fulgurite, an ancient artifact that he foresaw could be used to kill a Primarch. He eventually betrayed Elias, giving the Fulgurite to the Cabal agent John Grammaticus in the hope that it would be used to kill Vulcan, but for plot reasons that didn't work out. During the
for plot reasons, because Vulcan survived.
Early Solar War, he appeared under the guise of a dark apostle known as the Unspeaking, which is different to the chapter of the Unspeaking, also in the Word Bearers, and worked with Ahriman of the Thousand Suns to create the warp rift that allowed the traitor forces to bypass the defenses of the solar system and assault Terra directly. Once the siege of Terra was underway, he then sought out and killed Erda, the reclusive perpetual who helped the Emperor create the Primarchs in the first place, and then followed the trail of her thoughts to attack the companions of Ol Person on the walls of the Imperial Palace, trying to prevent them from reaching and helping the Emperor. He was stopped by Actai, formerly Cyrene Valantian of the Word Bearers, and buried under the rubble of the Imperial walls, but he popped up again to fight alongside Abaddon in the final hours, using his dark powers to prevent Constantin Valdor and his custodians from reaching Lupercal's court to aid the Emperor. And then, finally, after the defeat of Horus, as Abaddon and his company took possession of the vengeful spirit and attempted their escape, he killed Garviel Loken, the last loyal Lunar Wolf, creating a cycle of events in the warp that would lead to the creation of the demon Samus and the start of the heresy in the first place. And all because...
So that's what you mean by wonky time. I mean, that's the fucked up thing when you deal with the warp, where time doesn't exist and time is not linear. Oh, man, it's almost... I hate predestination. I hate grandfather paradox stuff. I really don't like that.
Because of, like, evil or something. Of course, after the heresy, the vengeful spirit, alongside the rest of the surviving traitors, was hounded back into the Eye of Terror. The Word Bearers Legion took possession of the demon world of Sicarius, deep in the Eye of Terror, though Lorgar himself went into seclusion to meditate with the Chaos Powers. Erebus, as the leading Dark Apostle of the Legion, became a member of its ruling Dark Council, often locked in a permanent power struggle with the other members, such as Cor Pharaon, over the Legion's next actions as they continued the long war against the Imperium. For the following 10,000 years, at least, of real space-time, he was rarely seen, though the Word Bearers were a major force in the 13th Black Crusade, where Erebus led a vast fleet against Cadia itself. In the aftermath of the fall of Cadia and the spread of the Great Rift, the Word Bearers led fleets across the galaxy, attempting to corrupt the Imperium to their old faith, though the exact location of Erebus is still a mystery. And this is the interesting thing about Erebus as a whole. He was always something of an opportunist. Throughout his long lifetime of self-serving betrayal, there were definitely plans, or plans within plans, designed to hasten the fall of the Emperor. A nudge here, a small corruption there that might be useful in the future. But much of the time, The great events he set in motion seemed to be almost random, with Erebus confident that
which kind of is very chaos-like.
his visions from the gods, the twisting tides of fate, and his own ability to be at the center of things would allow him to be wherever his patrons needed him to be, to steer events in their favor. Was Horus always meant to fall specifically to Eugen Tember, or did Erebus just trust that something would come up? Was Garviel Loken's death really the one thing that was needed to cement the Horus heresy, or just another action that might prove meaningful? In the warp, betrayal has a meaning in and of itself, and so Erebus will always be there, surviving the wrath of Primarchs, utterly dedicated to his own role as Hand of Fate, standing behind someone with a knife in his hand, ready to further the aims of his dark gods. What a bastard.
He's a dick. And let's be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in there he does it for his own shits and giggles. He gets off on it. And all right, that's Erebus, the cause of the Horus heresy. I mean, you make that argument. He is the reason the Horus heresy happened. He's the reason that so many, I mean, granted, the Emperor set the stage. I mean, you go back to the part where the subjugation and forced contrition of the Primarch who was pushing at him as a god, as a god. Yeah, his behavior there opened the door for Erebus to whisper sweet chaos in his ear. But man, it's fascinating when you look at the whole thing. Fascinating. Good lore. We love it. Thank you, Kel. We had a good one. And that's another Warhammer Wednesday. Done. Let's see. Anything else? Nope. It looks like that's all she wrote for today. Seems you guys are satisfied between my ramblings and a little Warhammer lore that we're good to end the day. So with that said, let's wrap it up. Let's talk about what the rest of today and rest of the week holds, and we'll see where we go from there. All right. So today I don't have anything planned stream-wise tonight. I do not. So maybe if I decide at the last minute to play some tactics, you'll know about a half an hour before I go live. Let's see. Tomorrow, Thursday, nothing planned for tomorrow because I have to start watching Witcher Season 4, which is why we're going to be pushing probably chat, maybe watch us reviews Cats 2019 to next week because I do not have time because this weekend I've got streaming all day on Sunday, so I don't have time to watch a movie on Sunday for Monday. And then Monday night, I do have Stream of Conscious, but I can watch it before then for Tuesday. So I feel like Cats 2019 is not going to happen until Tuesday at this point. That's what I feel like that's the realistic window for when that will happen. Other than that, we got Ballbusters on Friday, Halloween episode. Everybody else is going to dress up. I ain't doing shit. I ain't doing jack shit. And then we got co-op on Saturday. So far, it's going to be normal. They haven't moved the goalpost on me yet. Then Sunday roundtable, where I'm sure this is out of place here. Sorry, I see it out of place, and my minor OCD kicks in. Roundtable Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure some things will be there to talk about. I always find a way for a show. And then next week we'll start all over again with more stuff. Saturday Night Drive-In. We're watching Highlander. Director's cut. Watch Director's cut. We're talking that 7 p.m. Eastern, a little later, because at 4 p.m. Eastern, over on Jed's channel, we'll be talking Witcher Season 4. Yay. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to hit that like button. If you haven't seen the videos of previous streams, go watch them. Please. Help out my poor channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sun shining, raining, doesn't matter. Freak snowstorm out of nowhere. We'll be here unless the power goes out. Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you later. Take it easy.